So here's all of the items that I got for $700, and I'm gonna open up a little bit of this stuff here. I won't open up everything just because I know that that video is gonna be fairly long, but I will open up some of the big stuff, especially this stuff here that is wrapped up, and then some of the discs that are inside of here, and then I think there's some other disc in the stuff down here. But we'll start with what we can open up. As you see, off to this side is some Xbox 360 consoles that the person said that he thought was broken, like maybe had the red ring of death or maybe some hard drive issues or whatever it is. And so he mainly just threw those in there because he knew that those were broken. So I definitely will be able to sell those for parts even though they don't work. And then here, this tote just has all of the power cords, looks like, for all of the consoles. For the Nintendo Wii, I see a Xbox One power adapter, and then it has some PlayStation 3 mixed in here, Super Nintendo maybe. So these are all just the connectors for all of the various consoles that I actually picked up from the person. Those are for all of the consoles to kind of hook them up. But we will go ahead and open up some of these other ones here. I will start with this one down at the bottom here and kind of open it up. I think it actually had some items that I'm going to be interested in. So let's take a look. So right off, I noticed a case for the Nintendo Switch. Let's see if there's anything inside of here. Probably not. I would assume that he wouldn't sell his Nintendo Switch, but this is a nice case for the Switch. So, and it looks like it is an official Nintendo branded case, so that should sell pretty good. I'll get it cleaned off here. It's fairly dusty, but I'll get it cleaned off here and get that on my eBay store. And then there is a PlayStation 3 in here, and then a limited edition Xbox 360, and then looks like a couple of other 360s down here. 4 360s that I see. These two are, there's an S Xbox 360 and I think this is a version E, and then I think there's an older Xbox 360 Elite, if I'm not mistaken. And then, like I said, the PlayStation 3 with the controllers and everything. And then there are some Nintendo Wiis down here. There looks to be about 3 Nintendo Wiis stuff down in here. And then there are some DS's. Looks like, yeah, some Nintendo DS's here. Not sure if they work or not. I think the person did say that none of these were cracked or anything like that. So I will plug these up and test them out and see if they actually work. But these DS's look to be in pretty good shape. Those are the consoles there. And then we will look at some of these other ones here. This bin right here seems to be maybe all of the controllers. Yeah, these are all the controllers. Some aftermarket and some branded controllers. Like this is a original Super Nintendo controller. So this is a branded controller. And then PlayStation, looks like, yeah, Sony PlayStation controller. All of these are the controllers for the consoles. And so we'll move some of this out of the way here. Okay, so this looks to be maybe games or something like that in these. So let's open up a couple of these and see what's inside of here. These seem pretty full. So, okay, so loose disc for the PlayStation 2. Nothing right off that kind of catches my eye. Just maybe sports games for the PlayStation 2, which is okay. Yep, so this is mainly sports games, and we'll go through these just to kind of see if there's anything in here that is of value. Midnight Club 2, that's not a bad priced game. It sells for a little bit. Then this game here, I think, sells for a little bit. Okay, there's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which sells for quite a bit. Starsky and Hutch. Scooby-Doo sells for a bit. 007, and then Midnight Club So as we get into the back here, looks like they're a little bit better game quality that I might be able to sell. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 sells for quite a bit. Really expensive games, but we definitely can make do with a lot of them. Need for Speed, Driver, Grand Theft Auto. And then here is a PlayStation 3 game. I'm kind of in the back here. Didn't even notice that, but it is Street Fighter 4. This whole book is filled with games, and so that's not bad to have all those loose games, and I have plenty of cases that I can do. But let's take a look at some of the other ones down inside of here, and there's maybe 4 or 5 books that hopefully have all loose games inside of there. So we'll look at this and see. This looks like maybe Xbox 360 games. So El Shaddai sells for quite a bit. I do know that. And then nothing else right off that I noticed. Left 4 Dead 2 sells for a bit. Watchmen sells for a good amount. Okay, this one's good too. Alice sells for a bit. And this is the Velvet Assassin. I don't know if this is all. I don't think these are multiple discs, like disc 1, disc 2, or anything like that. So these are 3 copies of that same game, which is pretty good. Guitar Hero, Plants vs. Zombies. This compilation disc sells for a bit. And there's a Wii game kind of mixed in here. Halo, all of these. Okay, here we go. The Simpsons game sells for a bit. I do know that. I think it sells, I think it's a $20 plus game by itself without any of the rest of the stuff. I don't think there's any other disc in here. Oh yeah, it looks like they're at the back here. But the Simpsons game does sell for quite a bit, so definitely got some money in that. Yep, Minecraft game sells for a good amount. And all these original Xbox games aren't really worth much. Quite a bit of games here in the cases. And then let's see what's inside of here. Armored Core. These games here are some games that I'll actually keep personally to probably play in my collection. Call of Duty, and then Little Big Planet, and Ratchet and Clank. Okay, so here's some PlayStation 4. Okay, The Last Guardian for PlayStation 4. And then these 2 games here, Resident Evil. Oh, I think this is Dungeons 2 for the PlayStation 4. I think this may be the last case that's inside of here. All the rest of them are games in cases. But let's open this one up and see what's inside of it. Okay, so these are Wii games. Nothing right off that catches my eye. Maybe the Castlevania game might be worth a little bit. Here is some of the other bins here. So it looks like a Wii Sports Resort game. It does have the game inside of there, and then this is a Nintendo Wii, and then a few games inside of here. Nothing that is worth a ton of value. So you got a Wii console here, and then just basic games. Nothing of real value. There's that. And then this actually has another Wii game, and I've sold this one quite a bit, that has the green belt with it, the Zumba game. And then here's another Wii, and then all the controllers associated with the Wii. I think these might be some Skylander characters or Disney Infinity. So those are kind of mixed in there. Looks like those are Disney Infinity and Skylander, because I see the portal there. I'm gonna set this tote up on the table and kind of go through it and show you what's inside of there. And then this here, let's take a look and see what's inside of it. I think this is some more accessories. This looks like 3D glasses here that you insert your phone. And then this is a plug and play mini Atari system. A controller And then all the accessories for the Wii sports games. Here's another plug and play console for the Atari. And there's some Wii remotes and then all the accessories down here. So let's move this out of the way and then we'll set this tote up here and see what's inside of there. So here's what was in the green tote here. So I'll kind of go through these real quickly. Here's a GameCube game, the only GameCube game that was in there. And then here are the Wii titles. Like I said, I'll go through these fairly fast. Mario Kart Wii, this one is worth quite a bit. All the rest of them aren't worth a lot. And then some original Xbox games. Tony Hawk might be worth a little bit, and I think these are just sports titles here. Simpsons Road Rage is worth a little bit. Scooby-Doo is worth a little bit for the PlayStation 2. That one's worth a little bit. All of these are worth a little. That one's a little bit. And then I don't think Need for Speed Carbon is worth a lot. But those are the PlayStation 2 games. And then by far the most of the games that are in the tote were Xbox 360 games. And I'll go through those real quick. Call of Duty worth a little bit, not worth a ton. That one's not worth a little bit. This one is. That one sells well. I've sold this wrestling game before. Sonic Unleashed, Halo 4, and then this is Halo 3. Looks like collector's edition. Farming Simulator, Minecraft, a little bit of value there. Metallica, Guitar Hero, another Call of Duty Black Ops game, Lego game. And then Zoo Tycoon, and then Titanfall. Rocksmith for the PlayStation 4, and then Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens for the Xbox One. Those are the only two PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games that were in the tote. And then last is the PlayStation 3 titles. Need for Speed, Grand Theft Auto 5, not in the original case, but still pretty good. Need for Speed Shift, Splinter Cell, Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Need for Speed, Final Fantasy, Medal of Honor, Dante's Inferno, and then Fallout 3. Quite a bit of games inside of that green tote. So I'll move these out of the way and then we'll start working our way towards some of these other ones here. I'm very excited to open up these bundles. So here's all of the games. I'll go ahead and take the rest of this Xbox 360 out of the shrink wrap. But it looks like, okay, so this one is a Xbox 360S. Looks to be in great shape. I see why they wrapped it in the shrink wrap, because this one is actually in great shape. I'm not even sure it's been used a ton because it has all of the power cords and all that stuff like that associated with it. And the controller, they didn't even take off the sync instructions here that you can normally just peel off. So I'm not too sure that this controller has even been used a ton. And then here are the games that came in the shrink wrap. Sonic, which has a little bit of value. All the rest of them don't have a ton of value that I can tell right off. But we definitely will add these to the collection. Left 4 Dead sells for a bit. And then Midnight Club sells for a little bit. So not bad. Let's take a look at this PlayStation shrink wrap one and then see what's inside of there. So not as many good titles in this particular bundle like it was with the Xbox 360, but it is a good console. The PlayStation 3, which is the slimmer version of this PlayStation 3, looks to be in fairly good shape. And the power cords, of course, are in that one tote that I talked about earlier, but looks like these are all sports titles for the most part. NCAA 09. And then, okay, this is kind of sticky here. Dead Island, NBA 2K14, Madden 12, Uncharted, Call of Duty. And then this is for the PlayStation Move, and then Uncharted 3. So, and these controllers are aftermarket PlayStation controllers, not original ones. Not as good of a bundle as the Xbox 360, but the PlayStation 3 itself is in really good shape. Let's take a look at this tote here. I'm really excited to see what's inside of there because it is filled with games, both in cases and filled with discs that are loose. So let's take a look inside of here. Now here's everything out of this tote here, and I'll kind of start and go through them fairly quickly because there's a lot of games. SNES game, and it was only one SNES game, which is Final Fight, which this game sells for quite a bit. There were some 3DS games in here. There is Super Mario Brothers 2 for the 3DS, Luigi's Mansion, and then this might be the case for it. Oh no, or there's 2 copies of Super Mario Brothers 2, and then Mario Kart for the 3DS, Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. There weren't that many Xbox One, so we'll start with those, and then we'll start with the PlayStation 4 over here because there weren't a lot of those either. And these are just sports games. There's Grand Theft Auto 5, and then this one is actually sealed, so that's pretty good. Might be able to sell that for a little bit more since it's sealed, even though it's an older sports game. And then PlayStation 4, mainly sports titles. Looks like there was some water damage on some of these because you can kind of tell that it's starting to warp here on some of them. Either way, these should sell for anywhere from $2 to $5 or so on my eBay store, even with them water damaged. Most of this was Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 2 were the bulk of the games that were in here, but there were a few other consoles kind of mixed in. I'll show you what the original Xbox titles were. So nothing so far. This one is sealed, so it might be able to get a little bit more because it's sealed. And this one is sealed also, so these might be able to get a little bit more on my eBay store just because they're sealed. Midnight Club, there's a sports game. Burnout 3, and then the original Forza. And Wii Sports here, and it does have the game inside of there. And then I already showed you the new Super Mario Brothers for the Wii that was disc only, and then Carnival games for the Wii. And the rest of these, when I was sorting through them, I didn't see a ton of value in the Wii games. They were mainly sports titles or low-end Wii games. So I will probably bundle these together as a whole lot, or potentially even sell them at a yard sale because those aren't worth a ton of money. So here's the PlayStation 3 titles, and I'll go through these fairly quickly. MLB, and some of these have some water damage. Battlefield, and this is Dishonored. BioShock, Tiger Woods, Medal of Honor. Some of these feel a little heavy, like they have a couple of discs inside of them, but so far I hadn't seen anything. And I will check the consoles. Sometimes there's games inside of there that people leave, so I'll check those later on, but I won't include that in this video. But I'll check and see if there's some extra discs. Sometimes there are. Guitar Hero, Mortal Kombat, Farming Simulator, Call of Duty, which has a little bit of water damage on the artwork, and then Madden, which has a little bit of damage to the artwork also. So those are the PlayStation 3 titles. So I did take a quick count of all of the games that were included in this bundle, and I counted around 440 plus games. There are about 30 systems total in this bundle in addition to the games. So there's about 30 plus systems and 400 plus games included in this $700. I'm sure there might be some more consoles. I hadn't got a chance to actually look at everything in its entirety as far as the consoles are concerned, but I do believe there's about at least 30 plus consoles included in here in addition to the 400 games. So 440 games and 30 consoles included in this $700 bundle. So let's take a look at the PlayStation 2 games and save the Xbox 360 for last. Most of these were sports titles, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, so these are mainly sports titles for the PlayStation 2. This one has some water damage, but it sells for a bit. That one has some water damage, it sells for a little bit. Just kind of noticing a couple that sell for a little bit. this NFL Street game, if it's complete, doesn't actually have the disc inside of there, but I have several discs that I can complete this game, so that's not a big deal. And then these don't have the titles in there. So quite a bit of sports titles on this one. Now these have some water damage, looks like, but they're only sports titles. Okay, so that one might be in the case. So Mind Jack and then Burnout for the Xbox 360, just some loose version. Connect, sports title. And if I see one right off, I will stop and kind of make note of it if it's worth a little bit. Condemned, I think, is worth a little bit. This game might be worth a little bit. I think it's just an arcade game. So not a ton of value in Xbox 360 stack. Let's look at this one and see if this one's a little bit more value. This game could be worth a little bit once I include some of the Skylander characters that I have. So this one I will probably bundle as a set with some characters. So it looks like mainly sports titles included in the stack. Okay, here we go. This one's worth quite a bit. Transformers Fall of Cybertron is worth a little bit of money. And then Battlefield 4 for the Xbox 360. But that's it. Mainly all of those games are included. 440 plus games and 30 consoles included in this $700 bundle. So definitely got my money's worth. I'll kind of go through it and see if hopefully I can find some disc inside of the consoles once I kind of test them and clean them out a little bit. Not bad for a $700 lot, which include 440 games and 30 consoles. So tell me what you guys think. If I got a good deal with paying $700 for all of this here, I definitely think I did, because some of the consoles by themselves sell for $50 to $100 with no games included. So I definitely think that if I sell even a couple of the consoles, I'll be able to get my money back. There were a few games that were in the cases, the zip cases, that had a couple of games that were worth a little bit. The Simpsons game I know is worth a little bit, and then there were other ones that were kind of sprinkled in that I know for sure are worth quite a bit of money. Initially, he asked me if I would take 8, and I told him I would only do 7. That would be kind of my top end of the budget, but I definitely know I can make my money back with just selling the consoles for the most part. So one other thing that I needed to show is just this blue tote over here that has a bunch of consoles inside of here. So there is a bigger PlayStation 2, and then there is basically another PlayStation 2 that's down here. Original Xbox. There's 2 original Xboxes, looks like, and then a Xbox 360, a Nintendo Wii, a smaller PlayStation 2, and then there are a couple of original PlayStations, and then a couple of controllers. So that's all of the consoles that's inside of this blue tote here. I'm not gonna pull all of those out because I know a lot of them need to be cleaned, so I don't want to take them out until I'm ready to clean them. But that's what's inside of the blue tote. But that's gonna do it for today, guys. Make sure to comment below and tell me what you think about this buy that I did. I definitely think I can make my money back with just selling the consoles alone, because a lot of the consoles, the person said that the consoles work, so I'm going to test those out. But I'm just hoping that I can just sell the consoles and make my money back and not even have to sell any of the games. So that way I can sell them as cheaply as I can to kind of offload some of the ones that I don't need. There are some games in here that I didn't recognize, but there are a couple that I did that were worth quite a bit of money. But comment below and tell me if you saw anything that is a little bit of a hidden gem in this $700 bundle. So that's going to do it for today, guys. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Thank you for watching, and let's level up.